I realized that in my reflection videos, now making a reflection about my reflection videos, I realized that just in our signed transparency act of reflection, the reason they report me to the dean and probably avoided telling me first is that they themselves may have been taught to avoid direct conflict, which I saw in the transparency act myself. And credit if you guys are watching, still contextually valid as I say, so don't worry, although this could have been solved alternatively. But what I've been saying here is that has always been a difference between operating systems. This isn't like hate or like, this isn't like love or hate, it's a difference of operators. A natural part of my personality calls me to reflect by externalizing events and understanding how they happened after the fact. It's not harmful, but it clashes with most regular high school norms. And others prefer privacy and like to grow in private, and that is valid. Some prefer to live in the moment. When you mix me with them, now there becomes a problem without a connector because sometimes when you name them and mix a piece of their conversation, they may fear for their own privacy, even though we said nothing that's objectively wrong about them. As I said, it's a systems incompatibility. I work on a slightly different plane than others may do, and friendship is possible, but it's challenging because of opposing views on how we both reflect and talk about and live the day. And you need a connector point for that, something that connects both of these together. Without it, it becomes a problem. And it's such a difference because, at least in the friends that I've locally talked with before, sometimes they enjoy watching these videos and they'll be mentioned here and there, while some others view it as a privacy hurdle. Others call this consistent, great, legendary documenting of 4 years that don't happen again, while others would call it weird, preferring privacy instead, and some to prefer to grow in public, and that's fine. It all goes down to how everybody views the day. I love to reflect, they like to reflect privately or prefer alternatives, and that's okay. I mean, to really step out of it, like think about me as like 25 years old looking at this situation. I would call this like a teen system like this in high school. People got different views. What seems comfy to others seems discomfy to others at the same time. High school amplifies this because I'm not defending a local position, but there's other people around me that have different positions and have different ways of doing life. Others defend in hierarchies. Others are defending perceived standings. And the fear that even if a name is mentioned, that might be reinterpreted later. Although in these reflection videos, nothing bad will happen because at the end of the day, no one cares if you're mentioned in morning period or maybe fifth period, though I will do my best to erase given names. Because at the end of the day, this is high school. People are on different levels. Some want to defend privacy. Some want to prevent their own social positions. Some want to defend themselves. And some just want privacy. And I already see that. Even for example, my sister said to me in complete verbatim words before I make my response, she said this to me, quote unquote, name dropping or not, people know they're being talked about in your videos, and someone else could figure out who you're talking to about based on context. And even if you don't say their name. Even if you're going to make personal reflective videos, at least keep it private because these are also details of people's other experiences that others may not want to know. You guys are people too, so parents might get involved and make it more complicated. Also, not everyone might bring it up to you. They might not feel comfy and hence tell an adult instead, but this was the dean. In the end, it could feel comfortable and that's okay to you, but you might be making feel other people feel uncomfortable and might not even realize that you are doing it yourself. In my opinion, play it safe and stay private and be conscious of who's watching your stuff if you're going to share some personal details. And for me, as much as this is like third person talking right now, as much as I say, this reinforces everything that we've been talking about all this time. What others see as uncomfortable is uncomfortable to another group of others. Certain details, she says, absolutely right. Not everybody wants to know. This is why I use tidbits of conversation. I don't reveal personal stuff or reveal the entire conversation. I reflect on what I see as interesting and then move on. I'll be more than happy to edit out given names. But what I do criticize is that this advice can be taken as overtly fearful because it emphasizes the importance of dropping and omitting names, but it implicitly says that every reflection video is inherently risky. Rather, at least my sister's saying is risk based, but it's not based on objective reality, though it has often knowledge that I know that I need to adjust. The real effect of these videos is that if you don't want to be named, just DM me what video to blur or put out your name in, and I'll make sure it's done. And it's all green grass. The thing is that reflective videos don't always cause drama, and most importantly, no one's gonna hunt you down or stalk you just because a name was mentioned in the first place. No one's really gonna care after 4 years of high school that apparently John threw a volleyball in my balls yesterday. Really, no one will. And it's not an excuse just to recklessly name people anyway. Rather, it's an important nuance that we must ground my sisters that are in and ground ultimately what I'm talking about generally, just for everyone to know completely. Like, just because you're named doesn't mean any bad things are gonna happen. And as I say, just as in Lord of the Flies, as I am reading myself, when the naval officer arrived and Jack's trap looks like kids painted with face masks instead of killers, when that symbolic naval officer of adulthood reaches us as we turn 18 years old, the big thing is that no one's gonna care about the archive just because someone did something bad or just because someone's name was named. As I ground, it's not an excuse to name people recklessly, but people will care more about their own insurance policies and in their life in the future, and why Epstein is somehow still living in Tel Aviv, Israel, according to the Epstein files in 2030 regarding that stuff. That's a joke, obviously, so don't take that serious. It's just rhetoric, political rhetoric. And for now, yes, in theory, I do hold an arsenal of nukes and, like social bombs. In theory, I could call someone out in a video if they hit me with a volleyball in my balls and paint them like a bad, terrible person. In theory, we could be a part of social World War II if narratives involve me or if someone involves me in drama. But I assure you, every single party, including me watching right now, oh my god, from ones reporting me to the neutral parties, I am always transparent, I'm always welcome to re-edit certain videos, and I'm always welcome to have diplomatic talks to fix up loose ends. Like, please do not be afraid to scroll through my videos and see what you guys find wrong, and then text me and I'll be more than happy to fix things. And I assure you, I am going to do my best to remove and omit names and topics we edit videos. But the thing is that in the big game, we got bigger problems going on and even within the institution too. We got people that are actual real threat students. There are lazy students out there that do need to be punished. There are bad grade students, and there are suspensions that are required for students. And it's best that administrative energy gets pushed to that instead of other situations such as this, because it could have been solved informally first, as I say, but we're always welcome to talk. In political reality, the Iran war, the controversy of the Epstein files, and filling out your own insurance and taxes when you're an adult. Like, these are the stuff that we're gonna see even right now, and the stuff that we're gonna face when we turn 18 later on. Like, we got other stuff to be doing. And as I said, it's not an excuse to name people recklessly like this drama is occurring, because I'm not fundamentally different. But the thing is that between someone who likes to live privately, between me who loves to live publicly, we have opposing ways of looking at the day, of seeing the day as it is. Even my entire channel, Brian3722, all of the failed attempts become a gaming YouTuber. That means all the old videos, all the GTA LSPDFR videos, even my first reflection videos that I find cringe then. So those videos, they all show public growth. And not many people want that. Some people are even scared of that. And that's why I do it, because I'm specialized for that. They are not. They are specialized for a different purpose that still ultimately does the same thing. Because in reality, I'm defending my own line and my way of reflection. You are defending your own right to privacy and your right to guard your own social position within school, and responding to it in the way that you know. Contextually, we are all valid within our frameworks. The point is bridging it, and bridging it is possible. But we're teens and we're constantly changing, even if we don't even realize it. The question to some right now is that my point of reflection is fine. To others, it's a problem. To others, it's neutral. To others, it's beneficial. People think differently. Such a question, especially when it comes to integrating with friend groups, so say someone like me, it becomes a question between adapting to the local social dynamics there versus actually destroying my own personality to fit in. It becomes a fine line, because too many people who are watching view this social situation with their own lens of thinking, not just because I was reported to the dean. It's a social question that has 1,000 correct answers simultaneously and 1,000 incorrect answers simultaneously. That means tomorrow I could visit a different friend group and they wouldn't mind being recorded after the fact, or maybe being reflected about. Well, if I go to another friend group, they might be scared completely, because it all depends on the group, it all depends on their comfort level and their context with reflection. That's why I find it home, others find it neutral, others find it beneficial, others find it alien or weird. It's essentially pluralism. And as I'd always say, it is my goal to let others know if I'm going to mention people here and there. That is always my goal. And our goal here is that we're not going to mention like the entire channel's operation. We're going to mention in KISS, simple thinking. Like, keep it simple, stupid. If you want to be mentioned, you're going to be mentioned. We'll give you a nickname if you want. If you don't, you don't. Simple as that. And if you guys do have doubts of me, just look at my older videos. I am consistent with making videos and resourceful in that sense. As I always say, DMs are open to anyone who may have problems with me. DMs are open toward negotiation. Like, I have no vengeance against local peoples. I am not evil against anyone, and I seek no evil against anyone. If anyone wants their name to be unedited, if anyone wants to solve a problem with me, even if the link crew committee, if even committees from many different parts of the school have worries about me, please feel free to view my old videos or maybe talk to me directly in DMs. I'll be more than happy to fix problems here and then, although I do expect differing response times.